the multi-field lookup call. I think I have to edit this one just a little bit. This is one of my favorite use cases though. Code, this is probably the KV filter example. No, not that one. It is the dynamic. Dynamic. Yep. I'm going to change this for a second. We'll just play it like this. I'll just run it. I'm actually going to, I'll do it where it does a generator, but then lets me type as well. What I like to do for some of my clients is I like to have them set up a PowerShell script that will connect to Active Directory, grab data about special users like domain admins or sensitive groups, and it dumps it to either a JSON, a CSV, some type of file that I can then do a lookup against. And let's just, as an example, let's say one line in that file said something like this, J Henderson, comma, or pipe, and then their information. If I receive something like a logon related to J Henderson, it would then pull in via the translate plugin I showed you with the Alexa Top 1 Million, the data on the right. Now, this data, though, is a key value format. Key equals value. Key equals value. And the reason I have them pass it to me that way is they can give me multiple pieces of information from this user without having to do more than one translate. Because otherwise what would happen is they'd have a file that would look like this. J Henderson, domain administrator. J Henderson, ITO2 is their computer. J Henderson, in this case, the username would be Justin Henderson. And I'd have to do 3 different lookups to pull in that information. Well, in this, if with their PowerShell code, they outline it in this format, I can dynamically pull out all the data using key value pair extraction, which is this. Let me show you this in use. I'll just do it over here. Logstash -f tactical dynamic. So what it's going to do is it's going to act as if the user entered this information. It's going to auto parse the data because it's in key value format, all 3 of these fields. And then based on that, it does a little bit more tagging just because I like to show examples. So give that a second. While this is running, I'm looking at the Discord channel. I'll bring up the chat for Zoom here in a second. But if you have questions about any of this, I'll start taking them here in just a second. Here it goes. Full screen this. Oh, crash. Epic failure. Let's see if I can figure out what's going on here. Error, failed to execute. Notice Logstash is, oh, I know what it is. Right here. In my dynamic config, I'm outputting to a variable, and that variable doesn't exist. Let's just get rid of this. Rerun. Don't worry, everything's under control. In this example, I'm also showing metadata fields. This field I'm adding, and it would never be sent on to your syslog server or SIEM. It's just a programmatic field I can call within Logstash, but it's not part of the permanent log. So this dynamic config example, I'm just walking through multiple things. Give that a sec. Here it comes, and come on, do I have it? And yes, perfect, it worked. So started with this, but through the enrichment examples, all of a sudden I pulled the user, the group that they're a member of, and then I also pulled out test data and their computer account. So Active Directory PowerShell dump, bring it in, do a lookup, and pull out all the fields. Dynamic enrichment here. That can be fully automated because anytime that CSV or JSON file gets dumped from PowerShell, this will reload it on the fly, like it's a hot reload.